Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be answering the question, should you work out while you're sick? So the answer is not as straightforward as most might think, and that's because being sick can often be used as a crutch for other people's excuses on why they don't think they should hit the gym. Yeah, I got a little runny nose, I'm a little stuffy, maybe let's not go to the gym. When in reality, over-the-counter medications could completely alleviate them of all their symptoms, and they're completely fine. They're not really sick. They just got a little runny nose, might be a little stuffed up, and they're trying to look for anything to make themselves feel better about missing the gym. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you really do have a runny nose and you're really stuffed up, and you might have a little bit of a cold going on. But if you're not running a fever and you don't have muscle aches, you don't feel weak, I think that you can still hit the gym. Now, personally for me, when I'm a little congested or got a little cold going on, I'm probably gonna hit the gym. I'm gonna take some over-the-counter medication before my workout, and that way most of the symptoms are alleviated or completely gone before I get to the gym, and that way I'm able to actually focus on my workout and get a good beneficial workout in. Now, I'm gonna throw up a clip from last month, and my strength wasn't really affected during this, but I was having a bad cold. I don't think I was running a fever, and if I was, it was a low-grade fever, but I was using over-the-counter medications to kind of help my sinus and my congestion, and I decided to go ahead and lift. And that day I got a great pump. It was a great workout. I still remember it. It was really good. But this past week I got COVID again, and I wasn't lifted during that. I was running a 104-degree fever, and every time I've had COVID, the symptoms have varied. But this go around, it was a really bad headache, a swimmy feeling in my head, and a high-grade fever. And the first 3 days were the worst because my body was in immeasurable pain. I was having really bad muscle aches, really bad fatigue. I could hardly even walk the first couple days. It was a really bad flu. I didn't even want to attempt working out until about the 5th day when my fever was 99 degrees Fahrenheit upon waking up, and that was the lowest it had been because usually even after taking 2 ibuprofens for bed, I was waking up with 101, 102 fever still. I mean, it was really bad on the fever aspect, and with that swimmy feeling in my head, there's no way I could even focus, let alone go through the motions, the muscle aches, the muscle fatigue. There was no way I'd have a beneficial workout, and if anything, I would prolong my sickness, prolong my illness by trying to work out during those first 5 days when I was really trying to fight off that virus. So even though I bounced back from COVID pretty well, as you guys saw, I lifted 365 for a top set on bench, and we're also repping 315 pretty good. That doesn't mean I came back into the gym a little late or a little too early. It means I was just right on time. I was feeling a little bit better. My symptoms had decreased enough where I thought I could go to the gym. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I probably would have waited a couple more days just because I don't want to infect other people. I have the luxury of having this private gym that we've built up over the many years of buying and putting equipment down here where I can come down here and work out without having to worry about infecting anybody else. However, if all I had was a public gym membership, I would have waited at least 2, maybe even 3 days to make sure I wasn't gonna pass this on to anybody else. And while I'm in a public area or while I'm in a public gym, I'm gonna be sure I'm wiping down the equipment, especially if I'm not regularly doing that, if I'm feeling good. So with that being said, we need to consider not only our well-being and current state of health, but also if we're gonna be in a public area, are we gonna be coming back in a little too early and be putting other people at risk of getting sick? And this doesn't just include COVID. I mean, any flu, any virus is very easily transmissible. And if you're using the equipment and then someone comes behind you, didn't wipe it down, didn't spray it down, and then they're gonna touch their face, touch their water bottle, a little too close, or they drop it, touch the top of it, and then now they have infected themselves, and you've made another person sick. But if everybody's a little considerate, it can go a long way as far as keeping the majority healthy. So in conclusion, the answer to should you work out while you're sick, it varies. It depends on how you feel as an individual and what your current ailment is. Like I said in the beginning, if you're struggling with a common cold or it's congestion and it's kind of, only up here and not really affecting the rest of your body, I believe with over-the-counter medications, you can help alleviate those symptoms you're facing and get a workout in. Now, it might not be as intense, it might not be as heavy as you normally go, but I believe you can still show up to the gym and get that workout in. However, if you've got a really bad case of strep throat, flu, or, the stomach bug, I don't think you should be working out, especially if you're nauseated, you're vomiting, you're in pain, experience muscle fatigue, maybe got a little bit of a headache going on and a fever. There's no reason you should be putting yourself in the gym because you're gonna prolong that sickness you have. You're going to make yourself even more sick while you're trying to work out because you're increasing your body temperature, which your body's not gonna like because it already has an increased body temperature because it's trying to fight off that virus or that bacterial infection you may be facing. So if you're experiencing any of those symptoms, I really recommend not going to the gym. And once you're symptom free, I recommend giving it 1 to 2 days just to kind of give your body that extra time to recover. Make sure you're going back in as healthy as you can be. Now, you may still feel a little cruddy, oh, my throat's a little still sore. When I came back from COVID, my throat was still pretty sore and I was running just a small fever compared to what I had been running. But I knew the muscle fatigue and the muscle weakness I was experiencing earlier was gone. And for the majority of the bad symptoms, especially the swimming headache, that was gone. So I was feeling way better than what I originally was. So I knew I was ready to come back in and start lifting a little bit. Sometimes our bodies really need a rest, you know, whether it's 2, 5 days, or even a full week. It's just like when you strain a muscle or injure yourself in the gym or at work. You're like, man, my biceps a little strained. You know, maybe we shouldn't hit arms today. You know, maybe we shouldn't hit deadlift today because my biceps already strained. You know, when your bicep is strained, that you're putting yourself at a higher chance of a greater injury if you hit that arm day, if you do deadlifts. So if you know that your body is truly sick, you need to treat it just like an injury. You need to rest. You need to give your body a little bit of time to recover. But the best thing you can do while you're sick is to get enough fluids in, to rest. And if you're really worried about losing muscle or muscle atrophy, especially while you're sick or in a time where you're down or bedridden, your body's not getting that stimulus from training, you need to change your diet to a high protein diet. Be sure you're getting at least 0.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight, especially if you're a 200 pound or sub 200 pound individual. And in my opinion, I kind of shoot for 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, just to kind of ensure that our body's not just going to dump muscle off, not only because of the lack of calories coming in, but also for the lack of protein. By having a higher protein diet, you can mitigate some of the muscle loss that may occur, especially if you're going to be bedridden or down for a prolonged period of time. So we're going to drink a lot of water, we're going to sleep, we're going to rest good, and we're gonna eat good. We're gonna eat well. We're gonna make sure we're getting a high protein diet in. And if you're nauseated, you can't get a lot down, try to make the calories that you're getting in count. And if everything's making you feel nauseated, something is better than nothing. You don't want to just sit there, because if you just sit there and don't eat nothing at all, you're going to lose a lot of weight. And especially if you're bulking, you know, that may be going in the opposite direction of what you want to be going in. But if you're cutting, you may be going in the best direction you can be, you know? So it really depends on what your current goals are, how you need to monitor your diet, and what you need to be trying to do, especially during this time where you're sick and you're not feeling too good. Hope this video is informational for you guys. If you guys go to the gym when you're sick, let me know in the comments down below. And how bad sick do you have to be before you're not going to the gym? Hope you guys have a good morning, a good night whenever watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.